Welcome to the Violet Hour. I'm Bilicium, and today we are going to be playing Hand of Fate 2. This is going to be a new game for my channel. However, the game is not new. It was developed and released, well, I don't know when it was developed, but it was released in 2018. This is a game that I have not really seen anywhere online all that much. And I haven't really seen any trailers or releases for it. It seemed to kind of go under the radar. However, it is available on Nintendo Switch now, which is quite exciting. It is available on Steam, which is where I first was introduced to it, and I thought it was such a fantastic game. This is a game that is strategy, role play, and a bit of like tabletop style gameplay. I say a bit of because while on the surface it looks like and feels like a tabletop game, there's really something much deeper going on under the surface, and I think that it does a beautiful job of blending the whole video game slash tabletop world together. While playing Lost in Random, I couldn't help but continue to think about this game in the back of my mind. And the reason is I feel like games like these, the ones that are smaller, the ones that people don't really hear about, they're the ones that inspire some of these developers and gaming community into making games like Lost in Random. I see nods of things in Lost in Random, and I can't help but feel that they were really inspired by some more of the indie games that have been out for a while. This is only one of quite a few that I can think of. And I would like to continue to put games like this onto my channel for you guys to experience and see. I won't go into too much detail. I will say that from what I understand, this is considered a roguelite game. Now, I could be wrong, and please do correct me in the chat if I am. But my experience is that this is a game where failure is required, meaning sometimes you have to roll low or you have to fail to be able to get an outcome that you wouldn't be able to achieve any other way. And I think there's something just beautiful about a game that can acknowledge that within failure is where growth, development, and skill lies. People don't learn when they're always succeeding. They learn when they're failing, because that's when they stop and they really become introspective and they build themselves back up. They look at things fresh, you know? And so to have video games that acknowledge that and they work that into the gameplay is something that I am absolutely in love with, and I wish more games did it in a subtle way. Unfortunately, sometimes I think they use a heavy hand to try and beat that message into the player. This game, I think, does a pretty good balance of it's there, it's subtle, there's no real forewarning. You won't know when you should fail. You'll always feel the pressure of doing well, but when you do fail and it's the right moment, you will find yourself being rewarded for trying your best, doing what you could, and failing miserably at it and having to do it all over again. So, without further ado, let's start a new game. No? If my controller will allow me. Without further ado, let's get into a new game and
Your memories are fading even now, gone to form the soul of the game we play. These pieces are new, as are the stakes. Life, death, and vengeance. We must ride, for time is short, and you have much to learn. Make your first choice, and let us set these wheels in motion once more. These cards represent your history and our game. We know where they end, for you are here. Therefore, these cards must guide you to my side. Let us see what the journey holds. The fool steps into nothingness, because they know no better. In the same way, you must step into the void. You are a blank slate, and together we will write your history.
You've stumbled many miles through the forest in search of the thieves who robbed you. Though exhausted and hungry, you are determined to reclaim your father's amulet. You finally catch sight of the thieves hacking at a large tree and arguing among themselves. So, first choice is we can move in closer to eavesdrop or keep your distance. Since I'm recording, let's be bold and brave and move in closer for an eavesdrop.
Every element of the game has been improved, even those that seem at first glance familiar. Do not worry, you will soon understand the nuances.
Creeping forward, you overhear the leader spouting orders. It's simple, he says. The idiot walks down the road, you push over the tree and jump out. They'll be too scared to put up a fight, and we'll get rich. Why don't we just jump out and stab them? One retorts. Another hooded figure chimes in. Yeah, corpses don't put up a fight either. Frustration rises in the leader's voice. The Empire doesn't care if a few farmers lose some sprouts. But drop a corpse on the royal road and the place will be filled with soldiers before you even spend the coin. We don't need that trouble.
I am right here, and we have things to do.
Now quiet, here they come. You soon spot a group of farmers coming around the corner, bringing their wares to market. The thieves fell the tree into the path of the unsuspected farmers and leap out, weapons brandished. Give us all your food! Leap to the farmers' defense, offer to help the farmers, warning them it won't come for free, or help the thieves with their extortion. Let's leap to the farmers' defense. You draw your weapon with practiced skill. Well, you hear the leader's voice. You lads handle this. I'll meet you when we're done. And now we fight. Thug. Violence for the sake of violence, and theft for the sake of money. Thieves attack frequently and can evade standard attacks, making heavy weapons less effective. The farmers fumble in their haversacks in gratitude. Thank you, adventurer. I'm sure that after they took our food, they would have taken our lives as well. You fall on the food with a sigh, shoveling bread in your mouth to quell your hunger. Your satisfaction lasts only a moment before you realize your father's amulet is not among the takings. You consume one food. So that's a great opportunity. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see that I have a life card. You will see that the next to it is a food card, and the third one is a coin card. As we progress forward, you will see those numbers go up and down depending on the choices we make and the path we take. Their leader must still have it. You set to your feet, determined to find him. A friend in need. While enjoying a moment beside the fire, you spy a strange figure approaching your camp. It's a goblin, dressed in what must pass for goblin finery. From beneath the filthy fox pelt, serving as an ill-fitting wig, the goblin winks at you with wild red eyes. Ah, I've been roaming for hours trying to find you. We must get this over with quickly if I have any hope of getting to all of the people on my list before sunrise. It lowers a sack from its shoulder. Now, from within my sack, I can conjure whatever your heart desires. The goblin's voice trails off as he examines his sack. Well, I could, if there wasn't a blooming great big hole in it. His head disappears entirely into the bag until his bulbous nose protrudes from the breach. A new plan, then. The goblin pulls out his last trinkets. Weaponry. I like it. Soldier's sword, the warrior's axe, or a shield. The nice thing is you can pull up each one and look at the stats on it before you make your choice. Soldier's sword is a great attack if you want to be swift, you want to use repose, but it only does about 15 damage because it is a light weapon. The warrior's axe is a heavy weapon. I believe it's a two-handed as well. I'm not sure if this one is or not. But it uses bash, and it can be really good depending on the enemy that you're working against. And the final is a shield. One-handed weapon required using defense to reflect against attacks from ranged enemies. I am going to go with the heavy weapon for now because I do believe that we will be getting a light weapon moving forward. Plus, I just really like 21 damage, to be honest. And we can always change if need be. A wise choice. Now I must go. There are many others I must visit before I can rest. The goblin runs off into the night, his fox wig flapping in the evening breeze. Let us move forward. Finding...
This card has a token. Can you find it?
I don't know, can I? Finding forest folk. Your journey through the forest is interrupted by an inquisitive child.
Are you searching for the forest folk? My uncle says that they used to walk these woods giving out gifts. I want to find one and ask for a lemon cake.
As they dash off to peer under a nearby log, the child shouts back.
Remember, if you meet the forest folk, give me a lemon cake.
In the other direction, an eerie song hangs in the air. You attempt to find its origin. You spend hours traveling in circles until night falls, bringing you an unnatural silence to the forest.
Nothing could be more fitting now than meeting the mage who started this all, or at least started it all for you.
A trail of fallen trees and distraught farmers leads you to the thieves who had stolen your amulet. It seems their infighting has only gotten worse. The bandits surrounding their former leader, weapons drawn. Everyone will get their fair share. There's no need for violence, the leader implores. Whoever heard of a thief talking about fair shares? Spits another. You turn up and boss us around. We've barely stabbed anyone. It's been days since I've stabbed someone. Days! The leader notices you approaching and waves you over. As much as I'd love to continue this discussion regarding stabbings, I'm afraid I've urgent business with my associate here. As he greets you, he whispers, "Keep me alive, and there'll be plenty of gold for your trouble." Tell him gold cannot replace the amulet he stole. Tell him he will pay in blood for his thievery. Let's tell him gold cannot replace the amulet he stole. He holds up a finger. First rule of negotiation. Never let them know what you want. Kill my associates, and I will gladly return your amulet. Ever reliable, the thieves draw their blades to mug you. The leader hurries away to hide.
Give us your stuff, or we will stab you up,
growls one of them. You consider your options. I don't have any options. I either fight or die, so fighting it goes. You draw your weapon and prepare to deal with the miscreants. Thieves evade heavy weapons. Aww. And here I picked a heavy weapon. With the battle resolved, the thief leader nods in approval of the carnage before him. He holds out a hand. The name is Malaclips, Bard Extraordinaire. His smile fades under your withering glare. Sensing your anger, he raises his hand in surrender. Wait, let's not be hasty. We're on the same side here. I'm an upstanding citizen, just like you. I've been working with the thieves, yes, but only for the greater good. No, really, they were killing people before I came along. I know it seems bad,
But look!
He pulls out an amulet from his pocket and presses it into your hands.
All is forgiven, yes?
You stare at the amulet. It does not look familiar.
Oh!
Malaclypse says, scratching his head. He opens a small satchel.
So, which one is yours?
And now we can choose our father's amulet. There's no real description on any of them, so I'm not really sure. I don't remember what the relevance of each one is, but I'm gonna go with the bull because I like the eye it's giving me. There's no bull in that eye's bowl. There's no bull in that bull's eye. One of those things. Ox! No! That ruined my joke.
The ox amulet? That suits you. Very similar facial structure. Say, you know what? I'm lonely. You're lonely. We should work together.
You've befriended Malaclypse.
We should probably get to know one another, seeing as we're gonna be friends for life.
Malaclypse says, "Tell me, where are you from?" So we can choose our appearance from what region we're from. And I'm kind of feeling the green eyes. I think that's a good look. Oh, well, hold on. So we can have the mohawk with ponytail, the mohawk with a shorter ponytail, whatever that anime hair is, or bald. I'm kind of feeling the giant ponytail. So let's go with that. Oh, so the crest on her breastplate is all that changes. So yeah, we'll stick with the ox. And this, to me, is so like Scottish or Welsh, like having like the tartan colors of like your family crest and everything. It's very cool. I like that this is part of the character build, I guess. It's just such a cool aspect that's added into it. I'm kind of liking the blues and greens. They're all pretty, but yeah, I think blues and greens. And that is our character.
From Clearwater, eh? You don't say. Good sorts from Clearwater. Very trusting. Oh, by the way, I mean, we, friend, owe money to Vagnus of the Thieves Guild. He's quite angry at us. We should journey to Myrebridge together to appease him. Some gold might help. Although, come to think of it, I'm rather busy.
Malaclypse eyes a pretty trader hiking up the road.
So, it'd be best if you get the gold and I meet you there.
Smaller pieces of our fates shattered into fragments. Collect enough, and your reward will come in time.
You enter a competition of strength at the fair. A gold prize is available to the winner. In the first round of the competition, your opponent is the diminutive Roland, a halfling from a traveling troupe of acrobats. Ooh, and we get to roll dice.
These dice are another small game embedded in our game.
Hell yeah! Roland is no match for your strength. He gives a disappointed backflip off the table and collects his meager winnings, then cartwheels out the door. How very acrobatic of you. You take your reward from the purser on the way out of the tavern. When you return, you will compete in the next round for a larger prize.
The roads have become even more deadly since the Empire has come to power, despite their promises of the opposite.
He's telling us stuff. I don't know what he's telling us, but it's stuff. Distressed damsel. The road ahead is blocked by an overturned carriage and a woman calling for help.
Please help!
She cries.
I've been robbed by the band of thugs. Is there anything you can do?
Assist the distressed woman or refuse to help. So we are given the choice to be a good guy or kind of a bad guy in this game as well. And I think for this run, I'm going to be playing pretty like good guy-ish. So we will assist the damsel, the distressed damsel. Also, I just really like rolling the dice, to be honest. Oh man, I mean, if they're going to keep giving me wins like this.
Victory, you are learning.
I am not, though. That is the thing.
Thank you.
The woman says as you help her from the carriage.
Please accept this as a token of my gratitude.
We've received food and gold. You thank the woman and continue on your way.
Celebrations in aid of what? You see how quickly the actions of the usurper are turned into tales for children.
Carnival. Nearing the sleepy hamlet of Dulvich. Dulvich? Is it like a V or a W sound? It's Dulwich or Dulvich? I want to say it's a V sound. Nearing the sleepy hamlet of Dulvich, you find the villagers in the midst of some kind of celebration. Much of the activity concerns a large paper and wooden statue depicting a fearsome warrior looming triumphantly over a prone lizardman. Follow the parade, ask the locals about what's going on, or carry on your way. Let's get a little further information, shall we? A friendly stable hand explains. In a bygone age, our town was beset by half men, half lizards. There was no food, no respite, and very little hope. Salvation came in the form of a nameless warrior who hunted the beast for little more than a handful of coin and crust of bread. He smiles warmly at the festivities. We honor the warrior like this. The statue is filled with food and gold, and we take turns smashing it to bits with the club. You're welcome to join us, and you may keep whatever falls out. The parade and statue are winding their way into the town and almost out of sight. Follow the parade. Also, don't ask why he has a very over-characterized southern accent. I don't know. I just decided. The parade ends in the town square. You watch as the villagers take turns smashing the statue with a club and gathering the food and gold that spills out. A local notices your interest and asks, if you would like to take a turn, join in. Alright, we got some success on our sides. The club strikes the chest of the treat-laden beast. Some gold falls out. You survey the spoils and try to scoop them up before anyone else can. Woo! I am impressed with that. You scramble to gather the bounty that you unleashed. Would you like to try to gather more? No, let's not be greedy. You leave the town celebration with whatever you've gathered.
Water is a symbol for the many thoughts that churn beneath the surface. What is it you're thinking of? What concern is worrying at your mind? Let it fall into the waters beneath.
While crossing the stone bridge, you suddenly find yourself confronted by a villainous band. You could stand and fight the fiends, or throw yourself to the mercy of the river below. Stand and fight or leap into the river. So, I'm gonna stand and fight. I do love the dice game, however, I think I need some practice with fighting before we come to the end. So let's do that. You ready your weapon. Guard. The first line of defense against any who would question the Empire. Empire enemies wear armor that reduces damage by 3, rendering light weapon less effective. Well, thank God I brought a heavy weapon to this fight. Having spilled your enemy's blood, you search the bodies for anything useful. Ooh, we got armor, and we got a shield.
A simple defense. You can do better given time.
I mean, I'm satisfied.
Here we come to the end of the beginning. Running errands for mages. This will become a theme, I dare say.
You arrive at Mire Bridge as the sun begins to dip below the horizon. You find Malaclips perusing a selection of cheese by the market. Ah! If it isn't my good friend, the adventurer! Did you bring the gold? Vagnus has arranged to meet us in the graveyard. Go to the graveyard. You wonder whether the spot was chosen for its seclusion or for easy body disposal. Vagnus greets Malaclips with a sly grin. Looks like you turned up after all. And with a lackey in tow. We had our doubts, you know. Vagnus cracks his knuckles and giggles. That's it, I just got... There we go. I don't have very many knuckle cracks to give you guys. Well now, Malaclips, convince me. What's to stop me from cutting off your head today? You reveal your gold as Malaclips scrounges in his pockets for some too. The heavy satchel of riches lands at Vagnus's feet with a thud that echoes through the silence of the cemetery. You lose 55 gold. I don't know that that was worth it. That's our deal done, Malaclips says, worry obviously in his voice. No need for any further troubles. I'm sorry, Mel, Vagnus grins. You should have known the guild was never gonna let you pay with cash, stolen from our members in the first place. Vagnus the Crazed. Treacherous and greedy, a dangerous combination. Anarchists throw flame bombs that cause fire damage. Your armor is no use to you here. Malaclips scratches his chin, thoughtfully. It seems you could do with some savvy to help you navigate these tricky matters of diplomacy. Like, maybe killing everyone wasn't the best idea. Come, let us discuss our partnership over an ale or two.
Well done. You have cleared the first challenge, and now we can move on
Thank
to
you.
the next.
I'm quite proud of myself as well. Cardinal Blade. Bastion of Purification. For completing the Fool. Also for completing the Fool. Market Thief. Tarts, pies, and exotic lies. Fork in the road. Arm wrestling. For befriending Malaclips. Malaclips' problem. The Trickster. Shadow beasts have entered the realm. A fiend in need. The peasant's son.
Welcome to my challenges. Together, we will traverse 22 paths of wisdom and despair in the hope of awakening.
And that is it for this episode. So I hope you all enjoyed Hand of Fate 2. I hope you will join me because I do intend on playing further into the game. Whether or not I play all the way to the end really depends on what my schedule looks like with the other games, because I don't want to cut back on Lost and Random. I do want to finish that one out completely. I think it just deserves it. So this game I will play intermittently between that one and Majora's Mask. But if you enjoyed it, please give me a like, leave me a comment, let me know, and that will help me decide how frequently I play through this game. Take care, everyone.